Here is a quick preview of the Negrete landscape model. We pretty much have the backyard done, but I just wanted to fly in through the front just to give a sense of what it could look like once we get the plants and things in here as well. I'm just going to walk up the front porch, and I want to go in the front door just what it would be like coming in here for the back. So the main axes coming in the front door, we've got the dining room table and the dining room door, starts to set up the layout of our backyard. You can see the fire pit in the distance there with an awning. And we're going to look at some of the elements of the backyard. So as you come out, here's our fire pit with a bench with concrete and wood and black steel, which sets up the palette for the other elements. So if we pan over a little bit here, we're going to see the barbecue island on the deck, which we're looking at Ipe. So this is a concrete, it's going to be stamped concrete barbecue island, and this is just the wood sheathing on the outside, the same as the deck material. Around the barbecue. Then we'll move over to the dining room area. Now we're going to be taking a look at some options here for the awning that covers the dining area. So there's the space wall, which is essentially a system that has columns and beams, which allows us a very flat awning to maximize the height out here. And we're going to be comparing this to the cantilever version. This is the Bella Plus. So we're going to look at the Bella Plus and the space wall, and just as far as what that feels like out here in the space. So the space wall has the column and the beam, and I think we want to look at how many columns we end up with in the yard when we're looking at putting a pergola out here over the fire pit, and then we start to get more columns in here with the Bella. Let's switch out to, with the space wall. Let's switch out to the Bella, and it just is going to reduce the number of columns that we have there for this. So at the end of the deck, we have a concrete planter with a wood trim around the outside. That again is just creating our palette here of the wood and the stamped concrete. So let's stop here and turn on that space wall too, just so we get a sense for the different feel of the two. I think it gets really significant as we move out here into the yard. We're going to switch again here from the space wall to the Bella. The Bella just disappears when you're out here, particularly, as we're out here in the landscape with the other pergola. I'll switch out again for the space wall. Here's the space wall looking through the pergola, the garden pergola. Switching back to the Bella. The Bella just disappears. I'm leaning towards that one just because it really, imagine it retracted too, obviously is going to be a lot less. So while we're out here, let's take a look at this garden fire pit a little bit more. So it just sits out here in the gravel. We've got these concrete steps, or not really steps, they're paving stones, concrete pavers that walk out to the fire pit area. The fire pit has a little 4-foot plinth that's going to carry the fire. There's going to be gas out here in the fire, and you can see we're picking up again the same wood material in a floating kind of cantilevered bench. The back of the concrete is sloped. Here, let me drop down a little bit more. Pick up the pergola also. The pergola is black powder coated steel, and then we just are using probably the same wood material as down here, but these are just 2x4s that span across there. Very simple, elegant structure. Let's finish flying around through the garden and head back in to the deck. I just want to look at the the Bella again from down here and the barbecue grill. So that's just a quick preview. We're going to look at this with the client on the meeting coming up. Here's what it's starting to look like. Just so you can kind of see. Let's fly back out. Turn that back on. Turn that back off. Get a picture for this landscape model that we're starting to put together. So next step is going to be to put the plantings in the front. We want to get this hedge up. It's a real predominant element here in the existing trees a little bit. So that's how the landscape model is looking.